righty.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is Matt Briscoe, Managing Editor of the Hill Country Tribune, in our discussion series where we're talking with State Senator Don Buckingham, freshman senator from Senate District 24, who represents Burnet, Georgetown, all the way up to Abilene. Is that correct, Senator?
That's correct. 20,000 square miles of the heart of Texas. It's great to be on with you today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You had a pretty exciting day yesterday, right? With your freshman bill getting through, right?
We did. We passed our very first bill through the Texas Senate, and really excited that bill will help homeowners who want to contest their property appraisal.
Let me get this straight. It basically what it does, right, Senator, is it gives you the option to go first, in the middle, or at the end of the hearing. Is that right, or the appeals process? Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Under the current rules, usually the appraiser goes last, and the person contesting their value of their property doesn't have the option to choose. So we felt like that just gave a little bit of an unfair advantage to the appraiser, and we wanted folks to be able to go last so that they could then answer or contest anything that the appraiser actually says.
Now, when I was reading the text of this bill, and it's 1767, it's Senate Bill 1767, right?
Yes.
That this bill, did it make it through the part where your property taxes won't increase? Is that right? Because I know in the text it compared it to getting a speeding ticket and then having the speed that you were alleged to drive going up. Did that part actually make it in the bill as well?
Well, there were several parts to the original bill. Two of the parts of our bill, actually Senator Nelson had exactly in one of her bills. So the final version really just dealt with being able to go last in the hearing.
And right before that, there was a pretty big discussion about this veterinary licensing bill, right? Which is a big issue, I guess, especially to a lot of folks. Because the gist I got from it, Senator, was there are some folks that are basically doctor shopping with veterinarians. Is that right?
Well, the bill is Senate Bill 316 by Senator Hinojosa, and what it did is it mandates what's called a PMP, that anyone who prescribes opioids and some other types of medicines that can be abused has to go and check this database before they can write the prescription. Veterinarians were included in it. We did manage to get the veterinarians out of the bill. I did not like the bill at all for several reasons, but the main reason is it just opens up your medical history to anybody who has access to that website. And the website is in many, many states. If I know someone's name and birth date and address, I can look up every medicine they're on and know their medical history. And, for example, when Prince passed away, the state system was actually crashed. They had to turn it off because so many people were checking his medications. I think it's an absolute invasion of the privacy, and it's a terrible idea.
Absolutely. And this, so veterinarians were taken completely out of this bill then?
Yes, the veterinarians were taken completely out, but everyone else who prescribes these medicines or fills those prescriptions has to check this database.
And they are because the debate got pretty heated on this, correct? I mean, I was watching it, and it seemed like it got a little heated there for a little bit, didn't it?
Well, we're standing up fighting, trying to kill what I consider to be a bad bill. But, some days you stand and fight and lose, but you always try and stand and fight. So.
Absolutely. I think we have a saying here sometimes, some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug, right?
So, that's true. I'll remember that one. That's good.
So, and you yesterday when you got your, explain this real quick. Yesterday, because I got a couple of emails from some folks, I guess, who were watching this, and they were explaining this when you got your bill taken through, passed through 1767, passed. There was a little bit of hazing going on, wasn't it? It was
it's a tradition in the Senate, so. You just know you're going to take the beating, and you just take it with a smile and have a good time. And our first bill, we were very happy. At the end of the day, passed 30-0. So.
Sure. Well, you did quite well with it. It was all in fun, so did very well with it. And I might say you did quite well too with your debating there with Senator Hinojosa as well there on the veterinary bill. It was quite well too.
You're kind to say that. Senator Hinojosa is one of the most senior
Absolutely.
senators, and he's a formidable opponent. So,
Absolutely.
We made a little dent in his armor, so, stand up and fight.
Absolutely. I want to get into something else real quick, Senator, about this budget. The House and Senate obviously disagree on the budget, and the House sent their version of the budget back to the Senate now, I guess, and their version taps the rainy day fund. Obviously, there's some big differences there, Senator. Where do you think the compromise is going to lie with this budget?
Well, that'll be very interesting to see. Actually, when you look, the Senate and House bills at this point, it's always a moving target. As soon as you say something, it's incorrect, something shifted. But it looks like we're only about $415 million apart. Now, that kind of sounds big until you realize that our budget is, roughly between $217, $218 billion. So I think we'll find a way to come together and avoid a special session. But there are some significant differences we're going to have to iron out. Absolutely.
And I think one of those is probably defunding the Texas Enterprise Fund, which is what the Senate bill would do, right? Or the House bill would do, right?
That's right. The House budget taps the rainy day fund. The Senate budget does not. The senators really feel like we really shouldn't tap that rainy day fund for recurring expenses. And so we're more interested in trying to right-size our budget in the first place and living within our means.
Sure, exactly. And I do know that vouchers has been a big deal. Now I know the House also the House shot down the voucher bill as well, right?
Well, I believe they passed an amendment onto their budget that said no state money could go for vouchers.
Sure.
But, things change as they go to conference. We'll see.
Exactly. And real quick, last question here for you. Do you think we are really going to avoid a special session here?
I think we are. We expect to reach an agreement by the end of May. I think everybody's working really hard on that. I think it's important to note, the Senate budget only increases state spending by just 1.5%. It's well under the 8% estimate for the population growth times inflation, which is one of the conservative metrics. And, we say that this budget meets the needs of our state, and it's a lean budget, but not necessarily a mean budget. But I also want people to know that the Senate bill on the budget fully funds the existing formulas for public education, including the projected enrollment growth over the next 2 years, which is several billions of dollars, and it maintains our commitment to securing the border until we can, successfully pass that baton to our federal partners.
Sure. And real quick here, while I still have just a couple of minutes here, I would like to go into healthcare real quick. I know you went to Washington to meet with President Trump and a lot of other healthcare leaders in Washington, and obviously that didn't go as planned because of the caucus up there and a lot of other reasons. But tell me, where do we go from here on a state level with healthcare?
Well, at this point, we're just trying to prepare for any changes that come down from the federal level. We're really seeking a block grant for Medicaid. We want to cut those federal strings and do it Texas style.
Absolutely. And still no expansion for Medicaid, no plans for that, I'm guessing?
No, I don't see any plans for expanding Medicaid. We also have Senate Resolution 1, which we should be hearing on the floor in the next couple weeks, and that just says that as state legislators, we want to help our congressional delegation abolish Obamacare.
Perfect. Well, Senator, I will give you the last word here real quick. What would you like folks to know this time around out here in Senate District 24? Is anything you have coming up? Any events, any major bills you have sponsored coming up? Anything you want to add?
Well, they can always follow me on donbuckingham.com or through our social media. We try and put out what our bills are coming up and what's going on. I just want everybody to know we really consider it a true blessing to be able to represent everyone in the district. We're working very hard. We're clearly not afraid of a fight. And finally, I just want to wish everyone a very happy Easter.
Absolutely, and the same to you as well. And we look forward to hopefully doing this again, having a short little conversation with you throughout the session and even after the session, and keeping folks out here in Senate District 24 informed of what's going on out there at the State House in Austin. Senator Dawn Buckingham, I really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. much. And again, have a wonderful Easter and a wonderful weekend.
You too. This has been a special discussion series with State Senator Don Buckingham, brought to you by the Hill Country Tribune, nonpartisan, nonprofit, open-sourced, statewide, regional public media. Brought to you again by the Hill Country Tribune. Reporting for the Hill Country Tribune, I'm Matt Briscoe, Managing Editor. Have a great day.